Oops. I'm looking at, I was listening to the podcast Simply Always Awake, and looking at the episode. I don't know. This is a terrible start to a video. Thank you for starting the whole thing. But I'm not going to, because life is not perfect and it's not curated. So it's called Can Reality Be Reflected? And there Angelo was talking about some, he's reminding of that you can let go of what he calls doership. Like something that I was talking about earlier today in the earlier video. To not take things so personally. So while listening to this, while working, somehow thoughts came up about I think it might come down to worthiness, really, of like, you know, what am I doing posting these videos? Who wants to hear this? You know, and like I came across other videos of other people just kind of talking about their life and living their life on camera, and just having heard this kind of feedback, general feedback of like, why do people just like need everyone to know? Like, is this something that we all need to know? And just kind of thinking about that, because I used to say things like that, and I can understand that sentiment of like, you know, why does everyone need to be on TV? But I think so. Giving it more thought, of like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Of remembering that this is playing with expression. And so a kind of a question came up of, if my self-expression is the existence of everything that I do and how I am in the world, and if I can find no interested audience, no witness, like some people, I've heard this where someone's wanting to be in a relationship to have a witness to their experience. Like, if I can find no witness, does that mean there's not a valid reason to express in everything that I am? And also listening to the Trauma Rewired podcast earlier this morning, and they were talking about how expressing emotions is important to your nervous system, and keeping things in is detrimental. So expression is a necessary part of life. This action of doing it like more publicly on YouTube or on, you know, the city square kind of thing, this is kind of a radical action of something I haven't done. But you know, when your heart wants to, you know, I have one of the things I love to do is theater, and I haven't done it in a long time. Um, but it's, there's something inside me that wants to express to a lot of people. Um, and so the question comes up of like, if no one wants to see this, or people even would rather not have this exist, is it on me to stop expressing or to stop existing? So in our current society, it's frowned upon to stop existing just because people might express that they want you to stop existing, to put it lightly. Um, and I think, yeah, in a society that values life, everyone in that society, well, um, such a society, um, expression is a value if life is a value. Um, I've thought about, not every society is uh, from what I understand, like our tribal nature is such that if you don't fit in, you don't belong here. And so I think that's a lot of the fear of putting yourself out there, or, public speaking. I'm finally understanding why this is considered to be one of the biggest fears, because um, you're potentially pointing yourself out as different from others, and therefore someone who won't belong to a tribe that takes care of you, um, and therefore someone who won't survive. And so this is kind of working with that fear, and also with that need to express and to step past the um, where there needs to be, where the reason for doing it is that this is for someone, um, that it's like, you need this and I'm here to help you. What I have seen is when people share their stories, strangely enough, I do want to see those things, and I do relate to those things. That's part of why I'm thankful for Suzanne Chang's videos. I guess her channel is called Suzanne Non-Duality, um, where it's just a more raw kind of expression. And sometimes, like, I saw videos related after, like, looking at how mine are showing up. I saw related videos of just people and their life, and I do find myself interested in that, how people are coping, and it's kind of making me emotional. um, we are longing to connect. And funny enough, we have that tribal instinct, but a lot of us are severely lacking community and the actual tribe that takes care of you, because so much of living in, like, the modern world um, is not being taken care of. Like, the reality is you're on your own. So this, I think that might be why this is becoming more popular, where we need that connection, that community. Um, so for me, it's I'm hoping to express as fully as I can muster, to clear out stuff, so that I do have kind of the goal. I do I guess it's not as much of something I'm working toward as I think it's going to happen. That if I allow for expression to flow more publicly and more freely, and my body's feeling lighter as I say this, um, that I will get to a place where I'm more giving. So, one of the things that I was thinking about is um, I sometimes will joke with uh, friends or whoever I'm talking to that I don't have the luxury of suicide because I have a daughter. So it's this thing of, oh, okay, well, my existence is validated, and there's this one person in the world for whom I am um, a resource. Um, but but of course, I'm not like freely expressing myself to my daughter. It's more that I know that I am part of her environment that she needs. I am a core piece of her psyche, her inner and outer world. Um, so that's not really a place where I'm expressing my full self. I mean, I do get to, express my caring self, but that's not a place for that. It's more that I am something or someone in her life. I'm a resource in her life. Um, what I hope is that my expression more and more becomes aligned with being a resource in the world and being someone whose energy and presence is that of resource, of giving, whether it be um, someone who's emotionally giving, um, or just, energetically in ways like when people feel heard. When I meet people who I can see that they are safe to talk to, that they're not judgmental, and they can receive whatever's coming at them. Um, and they're at the same time, they're authentic, they're open, and they share themselves also. That makes me feel more safe. Knowing that person, I feel like that is a resource in my life. Um, so I aim to be less self conscious, less afraid, and to move things through in this new way. Um, and just to kind of see what happens. I'm hoping that more and more release and more opening will happen, and less cycling thoughts because they will now be publicly recorded and no longer something to hold on to. They'll be out. Because just thinking them or just getting them out to myself seems to not give them a release. That's not enough for them, apparently, because they keep coming back. Um, so, yeah, those are some of the thoughts that came up. This is my lunch break video update. um, Yesterday in my video, I did like a live kind of body, basically, it was a body scan, I guess you could call it, where I was feeling a certain thing and I placed it in my body and I kind of went through, um, I think it's called like feeling into my body or something. Um, if you would like to give me feedback on whether you whether that's something that's useful, that if you want to see more of that, that's something I'm happy to do more of and prioritize making videos like that. Meanwhile, thank you, and I'll talk to you later.